Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, for our viewers out there, why don't you tell us a little about yourself with music and without music, like who you are?
Okay, with music, I'm a guitar player mainly. I play many different instruments, but guitar is my main instrument. I've played in a number of bands over the last 10 years, Intertwine, then to Last Shelter, then to Dear Coward, and then most recently Fallen Stars. And I just recently left Fallen Stars, so I'm not in any project at the moment, not looking to join any project, just kind of relaxing for a bit. Outside of music, I'm a carpenter. I own a framing business doing custom homes, so that takes up a lot of my time.
Especially here in Vancouver, I imagine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, so going back to when you were kind of in the music industry, so you were around the block quite a few times. So how did you feel the music industry, the whole experience of it, how did you feel it treated you?
It treated me great, actually. Like when I first came in, a little over 10 years ago now, I didn't know anybody in the scene personally, and I learned that I did actually. A couple friends from way back in elementary school were playing in a band, and I was like, oh man, like good to see you guys, and we connected, and that's how I met James Weeks through them, and it was great. It was very inclusive, and I was always, because I like my own insecurities, you know, you let them get the better of you, and I was always like, oh, nobody's gonna like me, like nobody's gonna, like, oh, nobody is gonna want to play music with me. But what happened was I got jumped, and I had my head smashed, and I almost died. And when I came out of the coma, I was like, they were surprised I was like even still alive and still able to speak. I had to relearn how to walk and talk again, but they were like, man, you should be dead. And I was like, I came to this realization, I'm like, man, like I've been like neglecting my own music, because I came to the city to play music, and then I was like, well, I better get a job, you know, because I don't want to be a starving musician. So I got a job, and then that just like took off. And for the next couple of years, I wasn't doing anything musically, but I came out of the hospital, and I was like, man, like I gotta get on it now. And I did, and I auditioned for a guitar playing part in Intertwine. And I had a fractured skull, broken cheekbone, broken upper jaw. I'd been out of the hospital for 5 days, couldn't stand. And I went in, I had to sit down and play, and I got the gig, and I was like, sweet. And that was my first introduction to the scene, and it was nuts. Like everybody was so inclusive, and I was like, I'm so glad I got on this now, because I would have just let my own insecurities get the better of me and not come down. And everybody's so welcoming, so inclusive, you know. It's like there's obviously the odd arguments and brawls and, you know, like disputes between people, but like the people were so welcoming, and it was super easy, you know, to get involved.
So not all of us have had such an experience like you had. I'm sorry on that behalf.
No worries, no worries.
Go through that, but do you have any advice for the people that are maybe going through the same thing, that haven't gone through an experience like that?
Just get out, just do it. Like, you know, if you're making music and you're at home by yourself, go like find shows where the music that you like is being played, and just go there. You know, I know it's real hard. Like there's a lot of social anxiety these days and stuff like that. And a lot of people aren't drinking, so they don't want to go to that kind of scene. But you know what? I'm sober now myself, and I still go and I still talk to people, you know, and it's a lot different now than it was 10 years ago, because a lot of the people that I knew back then are no longer here. They've moved off, you know, or had kids, and they can't make it to shows as much as they can. But most people, especially musicians, they're just happy to talk to people. They're happy to meet new people, you know what I mean? So sometimes you have to be the one to, like, you know, suck it up and go say hello, and it's, you know, awkward first conversations go, but you know, it's something great can blossom from it.
Actually, that brings up a very good point. So when you're going to a venue, how do you, like, between a band or a promoter, what do you think is the best way to kind of promote what you're doing?
Between a band and a promoter, to promote what you're doing, obviously your self-promotion is very key. It's the number one, it's first on the list. You know what I mean? Unless, like, you know, you show your music to your friends and they're like, oh, you gotta get out and do this. So then you have friends that are out there with you, but self-promotion is the number one thing. And as far as for venues and promoters and stuff like that, I think it's a lot easier for venues to deal with promoters, because then it's just the one person that can handle dealing with all these other acts, you know what I mean? So it's a lot easier for the venue. So when they get all these when they get bombarded from a bunch of different bands, they're just going to be like, oh, talk to this one promoter, you know. And then that's the thing. But it used to be back in the day, you could just I'm not sure how it is now, but when I was in Intertwine, like we would get the bands together, and then one person would be like, okay, they would contact the venue and be like, look, I've got 4 bands, can you give us a night, can we play, you know, and that, and it would work. Yeah, we go, you got, everything starts with a plan. You got to have a solid plan, like write it down, take notes, you know what I mean? And like whatever, when you follow through with it, if something doesn't work out, write that down, like keep track.
So I'm guessing when you have to have a giant act like that, you need to have a good relationship with the people you're working with.
Yeah.
So
always put your most personable band member forward. Just be like, you're the, you know, and that was often me. I'm very, I still have insecurities, obviously, but I've always been good with people and always been like, you know, able to just be like, hey, how's it going? Like, I'll talk to anybody, you know what I mean? So that was often my gig.
That also brings up another good point, because I know a lot of bands will just kind of push through it even though they don't jam very well together.
Yeah.
And other bands will work together and try to work through their problems in order to give out a good sound quality. So what do you think is more important, the relationship amongst the bands or the sound quality that you put out at the end?
I think they're both equally important, but if you want to get a good sound quality out, there's 2 ways to look at it, okay? So like if you're writing if multiple people are involved in the writing process, relationship is key. Like you gotta have the best working relationship with people. And I've seen it destroy relationships. Like people have been friends, like I've seen husband and wives make music together and then a business went sour and then they're not husband and wife anymore, you know? And it's sad, but that's the way it is, right? So relationships are very key. Another way it works is one person writes the songs, does all the writing, records it all, gets it all down so you have bare bones of what you're working with, and then gets other musicians in on the project, and then it's like, okay, so this is what I've got, right? What do you guys think? What do you want to do with it? And then, you know, but then when you do that, you have to have a lot of, you have to give a lot of leeway with how your songs are being played, you know what I mean? Like if you have to really respect the people that you're playing with to do that. So then it comes down again to relationships. But sound quality, sound-wise, recording-wise, like one person can record it all, put it out, and it'd sound great. But when you get to performance, relationship it's number one. You know, if you go to a show, you can tell when there's band members that aren't jiving together, right?
You need to have that on chemistry on stage. So I guess that leads me to one last question. So with the scene and the bands and all that kind of fun stuff, what's something you would do to improve the industry?
To improve the industry, like other than buy a venue and start doing shows, I can't really say what I would do. I haven't really thought about what I would do personally. Like the best thing that one person can do is go to shows. You know, as even if you're not a musician, if you like music, like I have friends who are like, man, I wish I could play guitar, like I wish I could do this, but they're at the gigs, you know, every time they're there and they're supporting the scene. That's how you can support the scene, is going to shows and, you know, like paying the $10 cover to see bands. And like a lot of the time, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of music that you might not enjoy, but somebody's enjoying it.
At least you're there, right?
At least you're there, at least you're showing up, you know?
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Aaron, for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
My name is Nikki Nash, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey, it's James from Support the Scene. If you're interested in being interviewed or want to be featured on our channel, please comment down below or find us on Facebook and message us, and we'll get back to you as fast as we can. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Rock on.